Today I'm speaking with Karen Halm. She's the co-founder of Spektra Global. She's an architect and she's doing some amazing things, and she's inspiring young women to do the same thing. I'm excited to chat with her to talk about some of the projects she's doing here in Ghana.
Hello, my name is Karen Halm. I'm an architect and the co-founder of Spektra Global, where we design and build with you in mind to enrich the way you live, work, and play.
So Karen, as the co-founder of an architecture firm, I must say congratulations first of all, because there's not many women, Ghanaian women, in the space of architecture, so you've done well.
Thank you.
What made you get into the field of architecture?
As a young girl, I've always wanted to do stuff with my hands. So I like to see, kind of imagine something and then see it come to life. So I remember my parents had some boxes of perfume, and there was always an inner layer of, in that box. I'll pull out the inner layer, cut it up in various ways, and use it to create spaces inside the perfume box.
That's so creative. Oh my goodness.
So then I realized that I love to do stuff with my hands. I love to organize things, and so on and so forth. So, and then going in my educational career, going higher, the courses I enjoyed were the art-related courses, drawing, graphic design, technical drawing. Those I did very effortlessly. So with some guidance, I realized that architecture was the way to go, because it gave me that opportunity to imagine something and actually see it come to life. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so with Spektra Global, how long has the company been in existence doing work here in Ghana?
Spektra Global has been around since 2010. And so this year we're actually 12 years.
Wow.
7 in architecture, interior design, construction. Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You're one of the few women in the industry of architecture. How did you get into this field, and how did your career end up growing to what it is now?
After training on campus, you basically have to come up with a portfolio, before you can get into industry. And so whilst in school, whenever I get a project, I will just jump on it and do it happily, because I knew that going to industry, you will need to show something that you have done.
There are companies that have had a foundation in Ghana, or foreign countries that have been coming to Ghana as well. How did you carve out your own space in the industry and set yourself apart from everyone else?
The thing with architecture is a lot of referral based. So you do a project for somebody, they like it, and then they refer you, so what we did was, every time we got the opportunity to create a new building, a new project, we just gave it our best, because we know that when the person we are serving gives us a word, or a favorable word, is a lot better than social media and those other things. So we attach the work with a lot of excellence. Yes.
What are some of the favorite projects that you've worked on throughout your career?
I will just talk about the few that was drama related. So I remember the very first interior design commission we got. That one had to do with a man who had married a beauty queen as a new wife, and she was coming home. There was a deadline. And so we had to and those times were now beginning. So we didn't have a whole lot of hands. It was just my partner and myself, and a few hands, that were helping us put the project together. And so we had to basically work throughout the night. Then I remember being like 8 months pregnant, and I stood on my feet for so many hours. But because there was a lot of passion in what we were doing, I didn't really realize how tired I was until we actually, finished the fit out and cleaned up the place. And then when I sat down, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so tired, But I remember it so well, because that was the first project, if I remember correctly, gave us the opportunity to actually build something that we had lifted off paper into reality, the first interior. And the whole story, so the gentleman was really concerned about whether his new wife will be happy. So the whole vision was to get a new wife who was a beauty queen to say, this is beautiful. And then we knew that we had succeeded. And then the other one we did was our very first pure construction project that was in Ebri. That was also a lot of, was very challenging, because the place was basically off the grid. There was no road, there was no water, there was no electricity. So we had to do all of that. And that building had to be totally self-sustaining and green. We had to harvest rainwater because the Brie has a lot of rocks also. We had to, carve out rocks from the site to use it for the hard landscape. Yes, so
a lot of work.
That was a lot of work. We designed the roof in such a way that it harvests the rainwater. So, you kind of direct all the water underground. So the whole front terrace was a water reservoir. We had to use the rocks on the side to do some of the finishing in the hard landscape. We had to do things like light wells and solar and things like that, so that when the people move in, whether they were able to connect to the national grid or not, the house was fully functioning.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
Yes.
So we're sitting here in one of your projects here in Community 25. What went into creating this project, designing it? And it's just such a spacious place. What went into it?
We created Purple Park to solve a different kind of problem, because we have this huge housing deficit in Ghana, and we thought that as architects and professionals in the built environment, what can we also do to alleviate, obviously we can't solve everything, but at least we can also chip away at it a little. And so we created Purple Park to kind of help in alleviating that housing problem. Because what we do as Spektra is more of the luxury part of building and construction. Now, the thing is, not too many people can afford the sizes of houses and the size of projects we do. And so we decided that we're going to come a notch lower to serve those who want a simple home. So we designed this project, which is a housing arm. And so the price points, we make sure that it was a lot lower than what we do at the bespoke division. So this one in particular is a 125 square area house. Very spacious, very functional. You have your cross ventilation and everything. And we designed in such a way that the community is self-policing, so that even when you are not home, because we know that people will buy these properties and they may not live in Ghana, but when they are gone, they want to know that their properties are safe. So we have 24-hour security, and then the whole area is self-policing. So you don't have the high walls, so that if anybody or anything is happening in any house, and the neighbor looks and knows that, okay, so this is not the owner of this house, an alarm can be raised, So that is what we are doing. So it's 2-bedroom and 3-bedroom houses. It also has its own built-in wardrobe. So basically, when you come in, you don't have to now go and worry about how to go and buy a wardrobe. There's already an inbuilt wardrobe for you. And then this one also has its own washroom and toilet over there. So if rush hour, you don't have to worry about, I'm waiting for someone to finish bathing before I go. Yeah. Because every bedroom has its own washroom condition. And so this niche, you can decide that I want to have additional closet space, or you can put in your desk, and it becomes a study area. So that is. What's behind the place behind it? So we did it in such a way that you don't just show up and then you have a TV in front of you.
This is a 3-bedroom that we're sitting in.
Yes.
The master bedroom is actually quite spacious.
Thank you.
And then you have the second room and then the third room.
Yes.
What went into the design of the style of the home? Because it is quite different than what people usually see in Ghana. And from the outside of this home, it doesn't look like it is spacious. But when you enter the rooms, you actually see that it actually has quite a bit of space. So I'm sure that it was you and your partner with going into the design to create something that had more space.
Yes. So we looked at our target customer. What would they be looking for? What is their lifestyle like? And so on and so forth. And so even though it may not look big on the outside, but it's all about planning. So you realize that we don't have any wasted space in here. So we make sure that the floor area or the layout is very efficiently done. And for the master bedroom, for example, so we had to listen to our customers a lot, and we created this closet space so that they feel free in the space, in the sleeping area. You don't want to sleep in a space that it feels like, I mean, there's a lot of pressure and there's a lot of burden already. When you come home, you should feel relaxed. You shouldn't have a wardrobe and some clothes hanging out and, you know, all kinds of stuff. So we make sure that we clear the sleeping area of any of those clutter. And each of the houses also have a separate visitor's washroom, so that when you get a visitor, you have that privacy. So they don't have to go through your bedroom before they just to go and take a leak or just to go and pee or something. But the visitor's washroom is just close by. So they just go do what they have to do and then come back, and you also have your privacy intact.
That's good, that's good. Well, how would somebody who doesn't have any connections even get an opportunity within an organization?
So when you are being trained as an architect, you are always given a lot of hands-on. It's not a theoretical thing. It's a lot of hands-on work. So if they give you a project that design a hotel, you actually do design the project. So whilst you are in school, you'll be building your portfolio. Because we start the training with simple things like design a 2-bedroom house or design a filling station, you know, and it's hands-on. And you actually juried based on what you have created. So before you even finish school, you should have at least minimum of 6 projects. Let's say even if you are taking from every year, you know, your top project for every year, you should have a minimum of that as a portfolio that you can take out. You know, so your school experience, because it's so hands-on, you don't have to struggle with getting a portfolio that will even get you a job in a firm or get you your first project, first private project.
So if you're a student who is not committed, you're not focused, you're not willing to work with other people, network, you just cannot make it in this industry.
You will not survive.
So what advice do you have for young people who are also interested in getting into the field of architecture?
I would say a lot of patience and a good attitude. I say this because we've had a number of young guys come through our firm, and later on we hear about how they are doing, and their stories are not always pretty. So creativity is not enough. Creativity will get you to get noticed. Creativity would bring you the project, but to keep going is the attitude and how you relate to people. In our field, the bigger part of getting commissions is via word of mouth and referrals. So if you don't have that attitude, by the time someone walks away from you or by the time you close a project, the person should feel happy to want to refer you themselves. But if the attitude is not very good, once they close the docket, that's it. And it will be very difficult for you to grow. So creativity, patience, and a ton of good attitude.
So a lot of people in Ghana and in the diaspora often ask me questions about when they're buying property, but sometimes they don't have the full cash up front. And if there's options for payment plans or if there are mortgages, what do you offer to them to be able to get something from you?
We have various options for payments. We have the 40-40-20, so you don't have to pay everything at a go. That one is over a period of 1 year. We also have some partnership with our mortgage banks that offer mortgage. So depending on which way you want to go, we have that provision for you as well.
Great. So how can people get in touch with you if they want to buy one of your properties or if they want your services for the interior decor?
They can send us an email or go to our website and fill out the contact form, or they can contact me directly on 0262 85 84 73.
Great, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Spektra Global for your bespoke property, interior design, and new housing development opportunities. Visit the website for more information at spektra.global.